West Texas was a tragic example of how bad things can get when the information isn't shared and people don't know what risks are in a facility.
Gaps in emergency planning in Arizona, just like West Texas. It's the latest findings in an ongoing joint project by the ABC15 Investigators and the Arizona Center for Investigative Reporting. And we created this map to show you the danger zones around chemical facilities right here in our state. And you can see whether or not you live in one of these overlapping danger zones. Last week, we showed you how businesses plan for the worst to happen. And tonight, ABC15 investigator Lauren Gilger shows you the holes in this system.
An ABC15 investigation found nearly 3 million Arizonans live within one or more chemical danger zones.
You didn't know when you moved in that they have some really dangerous stuff down the street?
No.
That's 44% of our state's population.
Would that have changed your mind about
Oh, definitely.
Our findings were based on the worst-case scenario plans filed by the businesses themselves. Each company that uses high-risk hazardous materials is required by law to outline what would happen if there was a leak, spill, or explosion on site. Sean Moulton is with the Center for Effective Government in Washington, D.C.
People may not realize the danger that these facilities still pose to them.
By reviewing all the worst-case scenarios, we found they may not tell the whole story. There are gaps in the system.
It has a number of holes that prevent it from really giving us the full picture.
Each chemical has a minimum amount to report. Under that amount, and they don't have to make an emergency plan for it. Critics say it's a flaw in the law itself. Facilities are only required to report the container with the largest amount of a high-risk chemical on hand. According to records, Apache nitrogen product south of Tucson has more than 18 million pounds of anhydrous ammonia. But cross-check that with the worst-case scenario plan they filed, and you'll see they only outline plans for a fraction of the amount. Critics say another gap is the exemption for retail sales. If a company sells flammable fuels like propane, even a lot of it, they don't have to report.
The reality is the community members can be hurt or killed just as easily from retail chemicals as they can be from commercial chemicals.
And then there's the list of chemicals itself. Not all chemicals are officially considered high risk, even ammonium nitrate. Facilities like the fertilizer plant in West Texas are not required to file worst-case scenario plans for ammonium nitrate, the chemical that killed 15 people there last year. Here in Arizona, 3 different Fertizona fertilizer plants have almost 1 million pounds of ammonium nitrate combined, but don't have to make worst-case scenario plans for it. A recent Inspector General's report found some Arizona facilities don't report all the chemicals they have on site. It claimed that can lead to serious problems, like inadequate responses to protect the public when accidents do happen.
West Texas is not an outlier. It is a bigger accident, but it is an accident that is just waiting to reoccur someplace else with some other chemical.
I'm investigator Lauren Gilger, ABC 15 News.
The group ordered to look into chemical safety sent their recommendations to the president on Friday, and they're calling to have ammonium nitrate put on the list of high-risk chemicals and rework the retail exemptions. You can find the report on our website, abc15.com/investigators, along with the map of those danger zones so you can get a closer look at your particular neighborhood.